London.
Good evening. Our top stories. A former U.S. attorney charges the Carter administration concealed information about Burt Lance's finances from the Senate. President Carter says he knows nothing about it.
15 men are killed by a firing squad in Idi Amin's Uganda, and South Korean businessman Tongson Park says he won't, at least for now, return to the U.S. to answer bribery charges.
From Europe tonight, we'll also have stories on a terrorist trial which has ended and a terrorist gang which still holds its hostage. Harry?
The big question in the inquiry into the financial affairs of Burt Lance has been, is he the best qualified man to be budget director? Now the emphasis is shifting to the question, why didn't all the irregularities disclosed in recent days come up at Lance's confirmation hearings in the Senate? Dan Courts reports today's developments.
The former U.S. attorney in Atlanta today levels still another serious charge in the Lance case.
I charge that some officials of the Carter administration withheld and thereby concealed the FBI background report and the information it contained from the Senate committee in January.
John W. Stokes, whose request to stay in his job was rejected by the Carter administration, said he gave information about Lance's bank overdrafts to the FBI for the Carter transition team, but it was not passed on to the Senate committee that confirmed Lance. Just before Lance's nomination, Stokes decided the information did not warrant prosecution, but he said today it might have changed the senators' minds about Lance. On Capitol Hill, where Comptroller of the Currency John Hyman underwent a second day of stiff questioning before the Senate Government Affairs Committee, some members indicated that they feel the same way. Senator Hines of Pennsylvania also raised the question of how the FBI reports were handled, and Senator Danforth of Missouri asked if the letter of recommendation from Hyman's predecessor, the acting comptroller, did not amount to fraud. Senator Percy of Illinois warned Lance that when he appears next week, he should be prepared to deal with charges that he himself misled the committee about his debts and his financial dealings. So more and more, the tangled web of Lance's affairs is threatening to enmesh many other people as well. Dan Courts, ABC News, Washington.
This is Sam Donaldson. President Carter, who this week has tried to avoid public discussion of the Burt Lance affair, made an exception today when the question of cover-up was asked.
I was saying the former U.S. attorney in Atlanta, a man named Stokes, says that people in your administration withheld FBI reports from the committee on Burt Lance. Is that true?
Not as far as I know.
The president's denial was made even stronger by Press Secretary Jody Powell, who said nothing was ever withheld the committee asked for. Powell acknowledged that the FBI reports were not volunteered, but said that was a common policy that applied to all the nominees. As to the future, Powell denied once again that the fix is in for Lance to resign after he testifies. But he did suggest for the first time that the president would have to make a decision on the whole matter somewhere down the line. And asked whether Lance's ability to carry on hasn't already been impaired, Powell replied carefully, "We are aware of the difficulties." Lance himself was maintaining a stiff upper lip.
I want to have a chance to present my case fairly to the American people, and that's what I intend to do next Thursday. I hadn't thought about resigning. I'm in this to fight to the end, whatever that end may be.
Despite his stiff upper lip and the White House denials, the rest of official Washington seems to believe the end can only be Lance's resignation. Sam Donaldson, ABC News, the White House.
South Korean businessman Tongson Park says he's surprised and totally disappointed at his indictment by a federal grand jury in Washington on charges of conspiracy to bribe U.S. congressmen. In Seoul, Korea today, Park was asked whether he'll go to Washington to answer those charges.
So long as there's an atmosphere where the press still trying to try me in their own terms, and as long as such a thing as this surprise indictment coming my way, I consider this not as an improvement in the atmosphere, but the atmosphere somewhat has been worsened, and I don't think I ought to return.